You know that new destroy the world spell? That is going to be cool.
Oh yeah, the one where everyone dies.
Everyone dies, like
Yeah.
we did in the with the Zonarite wisps.
Right.
Hey guys.
Oh, what?
We are a few minutes late. Apologies about that, but we got some really cool
And
stuff
it's not our fault.
that Scottie is going to actually talk about. So.
And it's his fault. Literally, it was.
No, don't throw him under the bus.
I'm throwing him under the bus. It was his fault.
Well, we had uninstalled XSplit officially and officially also moved over to OBS. And I momentarily forgot about that. So we are now on OBS and we'll be moving forward with OBS. And shouldn't matter to you guys.
Is that like Obi-Wan?
Obi single. He's single.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, my name is Matt Barrick Anderson. I'm the community manager here at Portalarium. You're joining us on our weekly community live streams, and I have with me today Star Long and Richard Garriott.
Indeed. Lord British is here with
Lord
you today.
British has visited for a few days, I believe, right?
Indeed, yes. I'll be here through the weekend because there's a Hobnot happening out at Hobnot. It was going to be Hobloth, but now it's Hobnot.
Ah, very clever.
Yeah, so Hobnot is happening down on in the Castles and Property, down on my property, so I'll be there hanging out with those guys this evening and tomorrow evening, passing out a quest for them to go out on. Elad of Elad's Lighthouse actually created the quest himself. Anyway, so I'm in town for a few days for that.
All right.
Okay,
so we thought we'd have him on
Indeed
screen since we don't normally have him on these weekly live streams. So
yeah, so we're gonna. I should probably mention the prizes. They always get really super excited about the prizes. So we have 2017 fall wreaths to give out today. We have the ornate leather quivers. Been out in the store for a while now, but they're always a popular choice. Ornate, and this is where I always murder the name. Porcelain regalis with an I. Brittany Bierkrug. And I'm murdering some German person to kill me on this. Yeah. Oh, but I can do better. Ornate Sleighs Drakfald. Eastmark Bierkrug. Better. There, good.
Yeah.
And this is your choice. So when we give away those, it'll be your choice which one you want. And then, as always, we've been giving away something on Twitter for all our Twitter fans. If you tweet during this hour anything about the live stream, hashtag LBSOTA, which stands for Lord British Shroud of the Avatar, or at Shroud of Avatar, our Twitter account, and just say, hey, great live stream, or anything about it at all, you will be entered in for a chance.
Anything about it? Hopefully they say something nice.
Well,
technically not required.
Anything that we could respond to.
There you go. Okay, there you go.
Then we're gonna give away a mystery item unannounced.
Mystery.
It's gonna be a surprise. And then after we talk a little bit about, we give away some prizes for this hour. We talk about some news that Star and I are gonna throw up here, and also I'm just thinking
bring to the surface.
Festivus. I'm thinking of all these great holidays that we are
the area of grievances.
Festivus, the holiday for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yes, right. I have some grievances, but that's for another time. So we have Scottie afterwards, who is going to jump on the live stream and talk about a lot of the things that are in last week's update and is in this week's update as well. Some of the items he's putting into the game that are festive, Yuletide related, holiday related, and a lot of great stuff for decorating your homes. And so we'll give away some of those items next week because the release, which those items are going into, it's not quite here yet. It's going to be next week. And I think, Star, you'll talk more about that. So why don't you just roll into your news stuff?
Yes, so the release is next week, and you're saying to yourself, wait, what? Release next week? But it's only the middle of the month. It's not the end of the month. That's right.
Why is that?
I'm glad you asked, Lord British.
Indeed, do elucidate.
Well, it is the end of the year. It is November and December each year. We do our releases a little bit early because it is the holiday season. It is Thanksgiving and Christmas. And in order, we are not Scrooges. I know it is hard to believe, but we actually let our team have holidays. So we actually take off time for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And in order for us to get the releases out before the holidays, and have time to make sure everything's okay and get our patches out and everything, we put the releases out well before the holidays. So that means that the November and December releases happen at the middle of the month, not at the end of the month. So surprise, surprise, November and December releases happen in the middle of the month. That means that the next release is happening next week. So next Thursday, release 48 goes live. And somehow though, even though this was a short release, literally it was just like, instead of our like 3 to 4 weeks of development, it was only 2 weeks of development. But my team, without telling me, somehow bent time and space and got basically the same amount of work done that they get in a normal release.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, it was a holiday miracle. And that if you see the release notes, and they're up on in the QA section of the forums, and actually the release is up on our QA server. So please jump in and help us test on the QA servers ahead of live to help us get all the bugs out. But you can see how much we got done this release, and it's really incredible. So we got 3 new mines in, so low-level mines. So for the first time, there's going to be low-level mines for low-level characters. We got some polish done to the end of the game, where you actually now, ooh, that's a spoiler. I don't know if I should do. There's some extra steps you have to do related to the Path of the Oracle and the lenses. I almost gave away that part, but
correct. That's it's already enough right there.
Yeah. Oops. So the virtue gear is going in the game. So the first few pieces, the chest and helm pieces, so side quests related to those are going in.
And those are all, to get those are all virtue quests. So
yeah.
And in fact, if I've interrupted
you.
No,
please.
One of the things I'm really excited about these months is, you've all heard me say this before, if you've heard me talk much on these, which is 80% of the true quality of a game, of what you experience as the quality of a game, goes in the last 20% of the time. That's normal. And so I think you're going to be very excited. I know I'm very excited about these last releases, because that's when we go back and when you give us feedback and we see on our own with our own testing too, when we go like, hey, this path's too easy, this one's too hard, the balance is off, I don't feel virtuous enough, I'm not being challenged enough on my virtues. Those are all the things that are really easy for us to go back and address once all the main systems are in. And so, by the way, for those of you that have already plowed through the story, and like a number of people already have their shrouds, you're going to have a great time getting a chance to go back through and playing this again, because it's going to be completely, a dramatically revamped experience already in these areas that have gone back and been touched.
Yeah.
And so I'm very excited about it, not just Path of the Oracle, but all of the outskirts, which are still being refined, that are now getting in all these really much stronger virtue path tests, much more inclusion of traps, much more inclusion of puzzles throughout, from the beginning to the end of the game. So it's very exciting.
Yeah. And more unique components. So last release was the first time that we started adding in the unique components. So we got the elven bowstrings, but there's a whole new set of those, including ones that you're going to get even on low-level humanoids that you fight. So like bandit daggers and bandit swords and things like that you can break down and salvage to get components out of that you can use in crafting. So a lot more of that. Also, a big one that's going in is decay now happens at the point of revive, not at the point of death. And along with that, if you use the resurrection spell, it's a 50% reduction in decay. So there's a big bonus to grouping with somebody who has a resurrection spell, because if they use resurrection on you, there's a lot less decay applied. So a big bonus to grouping there. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but you'll get to see all about it. It's very, very cool.
They're saying here in chat that now that we managed to get a release in half the time, that means we can do double time next time.
I know, that's exactly what I was telling my team in stand-ups today, that they shouldn't have done it.
And they were doing this.
They shouldn't have worked so hard, because now they've set expectations too high. So I was very disappointed in them. And also just lots of the other thing that's going in is lots of Yuletide themed items. So Yule trees and Yuletide boxes and garlands and all sorts of cool stuff like that. And it's Movember, so
I was noticing, it's starting to come back. I noticed
it's hard to see there because it's still early and
still
also
fuzzy.
Also I'm a little gray, so it's hard to see there. But my stash is coming in because it's Movember and we're raising funds for the Movember Foundation, and you can join our Movember team, the Mustache of the Avatar, or you can donate, whichever you'd like.
Is it mustache or is it moustache? Because it looks like it's.
Well, it's spelled moustache, but you pronounce it mustache. And we added some items to the Movember store and some items to the Movember bundles. And we've already sold actually one of the Movember bundles, the cloth mat bundle we sold during the telethon. We announced right before the telethon that we added some cool new unique items to all those bundles, including digital in-game reproductions of our follicular reliquary. So the mustache that I grew last year for Movember.
Earlier today looks really kick-ass.
Yeah, they look literally just like the real world ones.
With some improvements, actually. Yeah, they actually slightly improved.
Yeah, because they have our symbols. They have the Chaos symbol and the Lord British crest on them. And we also announced this week that we launched the cooperative effort with the Merits fitness app. So, so if you work with if you install the Merits fitness app, that works with a variety of fitness things like Fitbit and things like that. You can get the cool health cloak that's got that custom caduceus that's got the serpent on it, the two serpents. Yep. And you can get obsidian potions from that.
And the cloak is just really, you get that just for signing up. So join everybody who's using Merits already, and we have a forum thread that is gathering your questions. In fact, the Merits team has been fantastic working with us. They're super energetic with our partnership here, and they are in that forum thread to help us to answer your questions. So we are working to tweak the app to make it a little easier to use, a little bit more secure in some ways, and eventually maybe some more items will be added as well.
Yep. Just a reminder, release 48, big changes coming to artifacts. So artifacts will no longer be able to be repaired with repair kits or kodos. That you'll have to use other artifacts to repair artifacts. So you'll have to salvage artifacts and use the essences from those artifacts to repair your existing artifacts. But also with that, you'll now be able to enchant and masterwork artifacts. So check out
at some risk.
At some risk, of course, just the same risk you do get with other things. So enjoy all the changes to artifacts, but get ready. This is our second week of sales promoting the launch of the Russian version of the game. And so this week it is houses and basements, 35% off, our deepest discounts that we've ever had on houses and basements.
Of the project.
So if you've been eyeing that particular house or basement that you really, really want, now is the time to get it. They're going to be on sale, the cheapest they've ever been for the next week.
Unlikely to be repeated anytime soon.
Yeah, this will be the deepest they'll be discounted for a while yet. And stay tuned. We'll have one more sale next week and another announcement about Russian, a big surprise that we're going to reveal possibly next week. Also a reminder that Richard and I are going to be doing the UO 20th postmortem at GDC.
That'll be fun.
In March.
Who else? Raph will be with us. Who else is going to be with us? Anybody else?
There might be someone else joining, but we won't reveal that later. Just in celebration of GDC, they've started posting videos from the old GDC from last year and the one I was on last year, the care and feeding of wild fan sites, in which you can see my spectacular mustache from last year.
It was very impressive. I queued that up. It was very impressive.
So if you want a reminder of how great Movember is and how great a mustache can be, you can watch that video. I mean, you should totally watch the video.
Or buy the reliquary.
Yeah, you should totally watch the video to learn about websites, fan sites and how you can support fans, not to just stare at my mustache. But you can also watch it to stare at my mustache and support Movember to help men's health.
Yeah.
Because it's all for supporting men's health. not about mustaches.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Okay.
All right. And next, I think we've been silly enough, and now it's time to hand it off to other folks who will show us some cool stuff for the holidays, right?
Yep, show us.
When do you guys do the prizing?
Right now, I think it's a nice time to, in fact, why don't you pick one of these? We've got the 2017 Fall Wreath. We're going to give away 2 of those. The Ornate Leather Quivers, 2 of those. And a choice of either beer krug. I'm not going through the names again.
Let's give away wreath. Let's start with a very holiday.
Yeah.
Be holiday-ific.
I like that. So if you're on Discord or Twitch joining us on either one, type !wreath, that's WREATH, for a chance to win one of those. And we'll give it a few minutes for us to change out, and then we'll award those.
Great.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to send Bob in, who will show off some of the winter goodies he's been working on.
All right, thank you guys. You're taking off, Lord British?
I might pop in a little later, but yes, I'll be
Sounds good.
Doing some work.
Well, I don't think Bob is here. Someone else is here, though.
I don't see Bob, but I see a turkey.
Oh my God.
Hello.
Yes, sit down, Bob.
Here, there you go. Pull up that chair. So Bob, thank you, Bobble Gobble for joining us. Really appreciate your time on telling us about. I don't know, what are you going to tell us about?
Does the e-cigarette have anything to do with
maybe
this?
PG-13.
I'm playing the pretentious artist.
Oh, you're pretending to be a pretentious artist, not because you are a pretentious artist.
I refuse to answer any questions.
Pull on in so they can hear you. Stand up to the mic. All right.
Hello.
So Bobble Gobble.
Hello.
That is your tag, right? Bobble Gobble.
Yes.
All right. So Bobble Gobble, you've worked on some items in the game, I hear, some recently. I don't know if that includes a whatever that is.
It's an e-cigarette.
An e-cigarette.
I just found out.
I've
I
never
don't
tried
actually
those
smoke,
things.
but
That's good.
yeah.
But those, I don't know. It is pretty bright in here, I suppose. Is that why you're wearing the glasses?
No,
do they blink and glow?
They're
That'd be
part
really
of
cool.
my veneer.
Well, yeah, he wears these every day, actually. Just doesn't put them on for the telephones all the time.
So today, I guess I'm going to show off the sleds. There's an ornate version and plain, and also the ornate sleigh. And we've also got that decorative watering can.
Yeah, that's right. Did
I forget what I worked on.
Were we gonna go off of my screenshots, or I forget?
Yeah, I don't even have a screenshot of them.
Okay. So tell us, this is going to be all for release 48, right?
40
next week.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
And we just went through some news. Star had talked about some of the things that are in the weekly update, which, by the way, if you are wanting to know what we were talking about for the weekly update, some of the Yuletide holiday items and some of the stuff that Bob's going to show us here in a second, they were in last week's update in part, and also in the update that just went live today. We didn't get it on social yet because we were rushing to get the live stream promoted. But you can go to the front page of shroudoftheavatar.com and take a quick peek at what's in there for what we're going to be talking about today.
And pretty soon, you're going to have, probably on Monday, winter-themed stained glass lamps.
Winter? Oh, really?
Yeah,
nice.
They're almost done.
Oh, now did you work on those other what are the other ones? Frosted.
Yes.
And the
I did all the lamps.
The diagonal. I'm murdering the name here.
There was a flame.
The flame one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Frosted, and also sort of like a geometric pattern one, modern art sort of. I'm pretending to be smoking. I don't actually smoke.
Well, is it okay? So we've got that's the wrong one here. I've got a. If I can only see it here, this is really bad. I'm gonna bring it up here. So we've got also some stuff that Scottie just put on here after you're done, and you're welcome to hang around too for that as well. But we have been working on getting a lot of the stuff in the game. So while it's in release 48, some of the stuff we're going to be showing, the community could actually see it in the QA build, I think, right now.
I'm not sure. Like, I hand this stuff off to other people, and I'm not always sure when the stuff is finished.
All right.
So.
Well, here we go. So we've got the ornate sled, I believe it's, yes, the craftable sled, and I'm going to bring this up here for everybody to see, and then the sleigh as well. So which one should
there's
we...
also an ornate version of this, or there should be.
Of this is this. Okay, well we'll start with this one. I have only 3 screenshots.
Oh.
So I may have missed something.
Well, no, that's what you should have.
Oh,
there's
perfect.
an ornate sled. This is the plain sled, and then there's the ornate sleigh.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna get that. All right.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
That is coming up fast too.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got window viewer. There it is, everybody. So which one is this?
Plain.
Okay. So this
Plain.
we're gonna get this right here. I'm gonna stop talking so I don't keep talking over you while you talk about this one. So what? How did it go in making this plain one? And what did the plain one come first? Or
Well, actually, the whole thing got kind of screwed up because they assigned me an ornate sled to make, and they attached a bunch of photographs of plain sleighs. So I made one that looked like those, but it was supposed to be much more ornate. So that one came first, and then I had to make a second ornate sled. So it happens.
Okay, well, I'm going to get this one to be a little bit larger here for us before we, oops, I always do that every time. It's like, okay, hold on a second, everybody. There we go. And I'm going to make it just a little bit larger so we don't need to see the wrap or the window. Perfect. Okay, so there's our craftable sleigh or sled?
Sled.
Sled. Everybody in the chat's like, it's sled. Bob just said it's sled.
Yep.
They pay very close attention to which ones these are. Okay, let's go to the next one, which I believe is, I might go to the wrong direction here. There it is.
That is the ornate version. It's green
Beautiful.
and red.
For the holidays. You made it red and green.
Yes, it's technically just winter stuff, but
okay.
We chose a Christmas theme.
All right, and what is I can't turn the screenshot obviously, but there's it looks like a snowflake pattern on the top.
Well, it's a filigree, like, just fancy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And these are 2-person sleighs?
I don't think that you can get on either one.
Okay, so you can't ride it, but let's, fictionally, they're fairly good size.
That's a 1-person sled.
Oh, it's totally one.
Yeah, okay. You grab the handle bars and steer it that way.
Oh, so totally 1 person. Okay, dangerous with more than 1 person.
Can I talk about the sled?
You've seen the sleds. Hey,
Yes.
Sarah.
No, Sarah's here.
Oh, no.
All right, let's scoot over a little bit.
Special winter guest, Sarah.
So
the sleds don't move. You can't really ride them.
Can't ride them.
No,
I was fantasizing
stationary.
here a little bit.
But the fun thing about it is you can sit on them by doing /sit, and you can also rotate these so that they're vertical, so you can kind of lean them against your wall or something like that.
Oh, that's neat. So you get a little decorative element.
You can flip them this way too, like that, like horizontal, and you can flip them vertical too.
And this one, the ornate version, and the craftable.
Yep, and
Same.
You can put it on your lot, and you can put it on pot land and create a whole winter wonderland. Nice, very nice. So Sarah, we've got a lot of new people that have come into our live streams recently, and we've every live stream for the past 3 or 4 weeks has hit record viewers. Thank you everybody for sharing out the live stream and announcing these exciting, mostly presenting developer stuff, content that's coming to the game for the upcoming releases, R48, which is next week, And so some may not know who you are. We did introductions a little bit ago, but Sarah, you do a lot of stuff here.
I'm Serafina. If you've ever written into support with anything, I'm the one talking to you, most likely. But I also test a lot of the decos and equipables that go into the game. So if you see a bug, that's because I missed something and you're better than me.
So thank you, Sarah, for
Indeed.
But no one's better than Bob.
Yeah, look at this.
Damn right.
Bob is the hottest thing in art right now.
I don't think so, but yeah, thanks.
Oh,
The talk of the town.
He's humble.
Well,
all right. Well, anything else we got to see? I think we have one more screenshot, right? Which is the actual sleigh.
Manderson.
I'm
three
engaging.
Engage in the third.
All right,
screenshot.
let's go to it then. All right, here we go. There it is.
Ooh,
So
He is
I love
dopey.
This is 2-person, I can tell. Like it's like a love seat kind of thing.
I didn't really think about it. I thought
about it.
Well,
this one you can actually interact with and sit in.
yes.
So you can double click on the seat itself and sit all pretty in it.
Yeah, and those are steps on the side to help you to get up there in case
Yeah.
you can't jump that far.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, I
also
think
I'm short.
they came out pretty good.
We have a community question here from Ekondus. I'm going to add a little bit to your question. He says, where's the reindeer? There's no reindeer.
There is no reindeer, but we did have a reindeer pet like 2 years ago. So they're around. You can't really hook them up to the sled. So, you know when you go to malls and there's a mall Santa and he has like a sleigh there?
Yeah,
That's
it's
what this
fake.
That's not fake.
All art is fake.
I'm sorry.
Take a puff.
It is intentionally misleading. Sorry.
Yeah, right now we don't have mounts, unfortunately, but it's a really good deco.
Yeah, you can place it right next to the sleigh, and you can have more than one, right?
Yeah.
There's no limit there.
You can put the sleigh inside, outside. You can put it on your pot land.
Inside the house? Oh,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And you can have like a mall Santa. So what I like to do is there's the Viking wearables that's on the store, and you can dye it red and white, and then get a character face change, get a nice chunky face, and a nice white beard.
I like your
Santa.
ideas.
I like it.
Let's cure that. All right.
Actually, you can just do that. You can just dye the Viking wearable.
You know, I should have put some community. Let us know if some of the things that we give away here, which we are currently giving away a 2017 fall wreath, 2 of them. So we are going to roll for that in a minute. Exclamation wreath, WREATH. If you want a chance to win one, we'll give another minute on that. But Sarah, you mentioned dyes, and there's dyes in the game as well, and there's some other cool stuff that we could give away on these live streams. So if we're getting a little boring with the fall wreaths and other things, let us know what you want. We have a bunch of other stuff that we may not be giving away that we should be.
Yeah, sometimes we're moving so fast that we don't really have time to think about what you guys might want. So feel free to, contact us and let us know.
Bob, you don't think, you just art.
I just am. Her questions bore me.
Did we explain that that's not tobacco?
Yeah, that's
or anything?
Yeah, I think
I'm
we did.
vaping,
It's
which
just like-
I've never done in my life.
Do you know what it is? It's vitamin B12.
Yeah. So I'm actually getting healthier.
It's like what you give parakeets when they're sick.
I think there's vitamin B12 and vitamin D, because we don't get sun around here, and so we need to take our vitamins for that.
Yeah, we never get sun here. That's for sure.
Actually, I pronounce it vitamins.
Vitamin D's, yes. Anyway, so we have 2 winners now for our 2017 Fall Wreaths. Congrats to, and I believe you are on Discord here, Cythil, Cythil, and on Twitch, Athena. Congrats to both of you. Please message Barrick for if anybody wins. Yes, clap, clap, clap.
Yay!
If anybody wins, please message Barrick in Discord what you won and your account name.
And if you're on Twitch, do that to Shroud of the Avatar. We are in chat standing by to take your winning names so that we can award you. And there's a good chance we'll get to that today, but with it being Friday afternoon, there's a possibility it'll be Monday. So apologies if it doesn't show up in your bank to redeem until then. And speaking until then.
Yeah, don't write into support. Unless it's like past Monday.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
If it's past Monday and you still haven't gotten it, then you can write into support.
All right, so we have more to show for Scottie, I believe, is coming on next. So unless there's something else you had to say, some life-changing bit of wisdom for our community.
No.
Bob has decided to become his art.
Oh, I'm going to get a cat this weekend.
I've been thinking about it, too.
Maybe Fluffy.
Fluffy.
No, I was trying to think of the most stupid name I could think of.
Yeah, community, you guys think of some good names for Bob's new cat.
That's a good idea.
What kind of cat is it? What color?
I don't know yet. I haven't gone to pick it out.
Well, maybe we should help you on that.
No.
Yeah,
why not?
No.
We can all
Come on,
go.
Bob.
No.
Portalarium field trip to the Austin Pets Alive.
Forum thread with cats suggestions.
Yeah.
Cat suggestions.
You could just mail us some cats.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
the actual cats.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be overnight. Don't spend a lot of money on it.
Somebody suggested you name the cat Rob.
No. Hey Sarah,
name it Bob.
There we go.
Bobble Gobble.
Bobble Goggle.
We've got Bob. We've got. Good point. Adopt a cat. No buying, please.
No, yeah. I do not buy animals ever. It's going to be an adopt a pet.
Bob is going to get a purebred Siamese show cat.
Yippee yappy cat.
My friend had one of those, the Bengal cats. It was so loud. Don't get one of those. They're big.
No Bengal? Okay.
I'm just going to get a regular kitty cat.
Bob. How about Cat Bob?
No.
Kitty Cat Bob.
Come on, guys.
Hey, Kitty Bob.
Get with it.
How about Kitty Bob?
How about Bobcat?
Sir Paws.
I've been called Bobcat many times.
Because you look like Bobcat Goldthwait.
Hey, that sled looks pretty good.
It does, doesn't it?
It looks really great in game. And it looks great with the Snow family. So, when I'm testing these, I kind of put everything together. So I'll put, the Snow family and the Yule trees, the sled, the sleigh, all kind of together to see how they look, if they kind of gel together. I put it in front of my... God, Bob.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, it doesn't do anything.
Your presentation grew tiresome.
I put it in front of an elven house, so kind of creates that scene.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's very quaint. And then
Cozy.
just a random menorah, because I'm Jewish.
What is a menorah?
What's a menorah?
Yeah.
A menorah is it looks like a candelabra.
It's like a flaming candle. It's like one of those things that, in vampire movies, they hold around. Right.
Yes.
Oh my God. Anti-Semitism is just flowing.
Manderson is from, Barrick is from Wisconsin, so he's not knowledgeable.
They're dopey.
So once a year is the 8-day holiday of Hanukkah, or Hanukkah, and every day you light a candle on the menorah.
What for?
Presents.
Ooh, I like
and you
that
get
idea.
a present every single day.
Yay.
Yay.
But usually it's kind of lame.
Well, we have one more suggestion for the cat, and then we really must bring on Scottie because Scottie has some stuff to talk about.
By the way, Scottie was making the goblin noises.
Was he?
Yeah.
There you go.
I was background gobbler. Number 2.
Name the cat Paws like an Ultima. So you could tie to the game in the community.
Bob's thinking.
Thinking. Yeah.
I reject that name completely.
But it's easy to spell, and in backwards it's swap, which I don't know if that.
Oh, for
Come here,
God's sakes!
swap.
Okay,
Who's
this
my
segment is
swappy,
over.
Swappy?
By my decree, this
all right. Thank you,
segment
Bob, for
is
coming
open.
in.
This setup
Bye,
has
guys.
become
Thank
tiresome.
you. Thanks for your help.
Artists out.
Are you both leaving me? Can
Yes.
someone go fetch Scottie for me, please?
I'll stay on while you
Okay,
guys are on.
thank you.
Because I'm never on. I
So-
feel like this is like a morning
This
show.
is great. Let's talk
This
about
is like
giving
a
away more
morning
prizes.
show. I love it.
We should
You
do
like
we should
this?
do morning shows. Where's my coffee? Here. Okay, there it is. Now
We
it's
could
got
talk
complete-
about all the gossip and New Britannia.
And we need like the logo, like the Shroud of the
Yeah.
so we can like here, you know, I'm taking a sip from my Shroud.
And we make our guests sit on stools. I think I hear Scottie. You can always hear Scottie coming
He
down the
has his
hall
keys
because he
jingling.
has like a ton of keys.
What are those keys
Ah,
for? No, I don't want to know what
Christmas.
those are for.
I have like 3 different houses people trust me to look after for them when they're going on vacation, so I just have to do it.
Could you give us the addresses so we know?
And when they're gone,
Yeah, when
Yes,
they're
exactly.
gone.
in
When
fact,
they're gone.
tell everyone online.
Can I hang out? Am I okay?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, please join us. Okay, so we gave away the fall wreaths. We gave away
Awesome.
2 of those, and now we have ornate leather quivers to give away. We have the here we go again ornate porcelain regalis Brittany Bierkrug, or this is your choice.
You
one
can thank
that
me for those names because even Lum falters over them sometimes.
if you want to know how they're actually spelled, then you can go to the add-on store and say, or how what the heck we're talking about for that matter. Go to the add-on store and you can see them in there on the front page right now, and you get a choice of that one or the ornate salt glazed Jockfeld Eastmark Bebkuga. Yes.
Our German friends are going to come and slaughter you.
Yeah, I apologize. I apologize. I tend to overcompensate on things on occasion. In any case, one of those 2, and we will give away 2 of those choices. Type beer Krug is way too
Beer? How beer?
beer. I like that. Type in beer exclamation BEER, which is what you would put in the beer Krug for a chance to win one of those. We'll give that a few minutes. We're just as a reminder for everybody, community live streams are weekly on Fridays, so we're celebrating the upcoming release 48, and all of the items, some of the stuff Bob just showed and the stuff that you're going to show is coming up into the release. Also, if you want to know what some of this stuff looks like in another light, we have more screenshots than the ones we're showing on the live stream that are in the weekly update, which we just put live. Email of that update will go out after this live stream, and I think we have a couple of tweaks to it, and then it'll be the weekend.
Yay!
So, yay! Yeah, you can tell what my favorite part is. All right,
And then
so
it'll be over.
Look how deliciously fancy those Sleighs are. Really, really.
everybody
Yeah.
is typing beer without problems. This is great. Okay,
They know how to type beer.
Now, I'm assuming we've already had a release where the beer krugs of different kinds are out there, right?
Yeah, that was
Last release?
2 releases ago.
Was it 2? Oh,
Maybe? Wait.
I thought it was
It all
one.
blurs
Yeah,
together.
Yeah, they've been out for a little while, so they're in the store, and those are just beautiful work. That
Oh,
we're
thank
putting
you.
into
Hopefully
those.
folks are enjoying those. I mean,
Yeah.
talk about a lot of love put into them, and I want to make sure they work, and Matt conspired with me to make sure that the lids would pop open, and that they pop open when you can decorate with them
Yes.
and pop them open on the shelf, too.
Yeah. So when you decorate with them, you can see them. Be sure to put yourself in first person view, and you can see all the detail. There's like scenes and stuff on it.
Yes. Some of them from our own game that I
Yeah.
translated into, like, sculpture on top of the
Like
ceramic.
the Brittany one.
Yeah, the Brittany
Yeah.
one, and then of course there's the dancing folk for the salt glazed one from Dragvold. Fun stuff.
Right.
Now,
Salt
now before we
glaze.
share that, before I want to go into the
Okay.
light into that scene and actually walk around,
Okay, great. So
I-
still you right now.
I have images. So, and I
okay.
want to put the little thing in. How do I get?
Sure, just plug.
You want me to?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause
plug it
you-
into the
'cause
front.
I
I
don't-
think it'll work.
And hopefully we can navigate to these images. I have a bunch of images from all the Yuletide stuff that I've gotten to work on, and I was really lucky this time in that, even though it was a short release, I had set myself up the last time when I created the Yuletide stuff that I made for 2016 to be able to go in and fairly quickly kind of recreate new versions that required really only a lot of just actual painting art on my end. And then, kind of a makeover of the thing. So I was really lucky. I had some stuff. And plus, when I kind of did a lot of research to get the stuff necessary for the designs for things like gift boxes and the stockings, which we already had, I'd kind of gone through all the resources that I could find and made a backlog of stuff that I could draw from in years later. So that really helped me out get those done fast. And it let me actually work on 2 new things that we have never had before. But yet several of you fine folks had been asking about garlands to add to the wreaths that we already had to really, decorate the walls and things like that. And then in addition, since we already had a card for the Valentine's Day,
Yes.
having Yuletide Christmas kind of cards.
I love the art on that one.
Oh, thank you.
We'll see that, right?
Yeah, we'll see that. We'll see that. We'll be able to look at all that stuff.
So there's your window, and just a moment for us, everybody. In fact, 1 minute more on exclamation beer for a chance to win those beer crudes.
Excellent. What am I looking at here?
You can go ahead and open the folder,
here, this is
and
what I
then
need.
whichever one it is, and then I will tie it in so that everybody can actually see it.
Okay.
Okay, so
we will start with the gift boxes.
We got it all organized. Perfect.
Yeah, it's all organized.
Okay.
Presents first.
All right, so I will. You have them even numbered. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I numbered them in the order I wanted to show them, and all that happy hoo-ha.
All right. So I am setting this up. Oh, I did it again. Here.
We always have difficulty.
Yeah, actually, this is even compounded because we deleted. I explained this in the beginning of the live stream. We deleted XSplit, which was our old tool for live streaming to you guys, which allows us to. It's a good tool. It allows us to have like the wrapper that you see around the edge of the screen, and then during the telethons, the ticker at the top for what flash sales are going on and all of that stuff. Well, we deleted that because we were having a little bit of problems with it, and we really wanted to get over to OBS, which is we've tested it a few times during the telethons.
What's OBS?
Another. This is all like geek speak, and like half of you guys probably exactly what I'm talking about. OBS they're just tools to allow us to present to you our live streams, connect the camera, show off the screenshots, play the game, all that good stuff, and to do it in different windows and resize the windows, that sort of thing. And so we switched to this other one called OBS, and we did that literally 2 minutes before the live stream started.
Oh, that was great, and we did, of course, test it. So
actually, we have been testing it in the past. So.
Are you sure you want?
No, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
As long as we're still here.
I'm just gonna.
Could you just quickly sketch it on the whiteboard for us?
That would be
this is
so
what
good.
it looks like.
All right,
sort of.
Okay, so we've got.
Are we trying to find the folder?
Oh my goodness, yes. Let's. You know what I'm gonna do? Just for the sake of sanity, I'm gonna put it on the desktop for right now. So it'll be copied to the desktop.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it'll make it.
Does that help? I mean,
yes, it will. It'll make it go from 20 seconds to find this for the people waiting to 2 hours and 20 seconds or something like that.
Wow, hours.
Gift boxes, right?
Gift boxes.
Okay.
Now, can we verify that they are going to see these things? How do we verify?
We can. I'm going to start with one.
That's perfect.
That probably makes sense, right?
And hopefully they'll tell us if they can't see anything.
Yeah. So there it is. They can definitely see that.
Okay.
And now I'm going to hide your face.
That's okay.
There it is. I'm hiding it.
Now,
okay, so let me.
Well, that's fine.
Serious mode here, I suppose.
Yeah,
it's Friday, everybody. Yeah.
There we go. Now all these images I took for the post that I make on the Dev Plus, and my assumption is that the folks that are on this live stream aren't necessarily Dev Plus members and may not have had a chance to actually peruse these things. So for many of you, hopefully it'll be the first time you've seen them, and I can kind of go through. Hopefully it'll let me flip through them. Or is there some other horrible way?
There is. In fact, the issue we had last time is now improved and perfect for this one, so it won't be as much of a headache as last time. So what I want to do here is I want to actually be able to see us still, not so large, but just downsize it like this. And just to make it a little bit, it's one of those like.
We're still here. You can take comfort in our visages.
There we go. So as we go from one screenshot to the next, all you'll have to do, Scottie, is find the dang window that I misplaced.
Oh God.
Now. Oh God, where'd it go? Oh God. Oh jeez. Where is it? Oh God. No, that's Twitch. Seriously, where did it go?
Let's see. Are they angry yet?
So you can see. Why don't you
just tell us if you're angry?
Yeah. Oh, please. No. Yeah. Why don't you just talk about this one while I find where the screenshots went? Just talk about this one.
Oh, this is the best stream ever. Well, I'm glad you think so. Let's see if we can see. First of all, Can you all see?
Yeah, they can see
the
us
image.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, they can see that fine. I am sure of that. So go ahead and just, whatever's on the screen while I find the window that somehow got misplaced here.
So you want to talk about these?
Yes. Yeah. So let's. Yeah. So here's the deal with what you're seeing right now. The first and foremost environment that I start working on this stuff in is Max. Because Max is the modeler. I know you all have heard me talk about it before. And what you see spread out before you are, is my little test bed to make sure that as I make some of these items, and you can see the stockings up there on the chimney as well, I kind of test to make sure that sort of the geometry is going to fit in the right place it needs to fit, and that the things are the right relative size and all the other good stuff. Excuse me. And in the background, you can see some of the other gift boxes that were already made. And then in the foreground, you can see the new gift boxes that I was working on for the season. And one thing you can see also is that everything you see is kind of like outlined in lines, specific delineations of different colors. What you're actually looking at there is the mesh of that object. So, underneath everything, it's polygons all day long. And then in Photoshop, we actually work on essentially the painting of the wrapping paper that goes around these boxes, and of course every other mesh we built as well, where those things are hand painted, or we get some good resources for making them from photographs.
Yeah, I see the design and the lines, and we actually the other screenshots which I have up here now. Looks like they zoom in a little closer to some of these, so we can get a little better look at.
Absolutely. So here, let's go to the next one and see and do it. How do we do that?
What I did is I actually took a single image capture when I should have taken a capture of the window itself here. So I'm going to go and grab the. I did it again. In 1 second.
Now, believe me when I say my original intention was to sort of flip through these fairly quickly, with a few comments about each, and then we go into the actual editor itself and run around, so you can see them in all their full 3D and moving glory. And we will do that as once we get this thing set up to where I can just start flipping through the images and making a few comments here and there. So please forgive us as we kind of arrange these properly and make sure.
Yeah, forgive me. It's all me here. All right, so there is our fancy new system of changing these out. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more so that we can get a good, nice, full look at these screenshots.
And then you can grab your image again. There we go.
There we go. So what you'll do, Scottie, is just right here. I want to monitor the chat, so I'm gonna keep chat up there.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna bring this down here for you to make it a little bit easier for everybody. Oh yeah, it's gonna change it there.
That's okay. Just do what needs to be done, and all is well.
So it'll be right there, and then just do your left and right.
Excellent. Okay, so now we can move forward, and I'll give my little commentary as we go. So you see this environment in Max with all of them together, and still in Max at this point, and still you can see because there's the wire mesh around everything. That's the actual mesh that you're looking at, and that they're built out of, fairly simple polygonally. And you can see the old last year's gift boxes for Yule compared to this 2017 Yule gift boxes. And at some point in time, I'll be probably supplying Relics by Rild with the patterns that I got for these boxes, so that they can be turned into wrapping paper that you guys can use as well. I think that was Rild's hope.
Yeah.
So here you see them from a different angle, but with their lines turned off, so you can actually look beyond the mesh and actually see a little closer what they're going to look like in the game.
For quick context, Relics by Rild. If you go to relicsbyrild.com, Ben over there, he has a wonderful lineup of merchandise that he created. It's totally a community initiative, and things like shirts and cups and all sorts of coins. A number of items that sometimes we give away, like on our telethons. We'll do that.
That's right.
Yeah, so
he's a good guy with good stuff.
Yeah,
sure.
He created a bunch of really neat things.
So and now here you see there's a difference between what you saw in Max, and now you can start seeing things in the game. So I throw objects in the game in the editor as I begin to prepare their materials, which it's a physically based rendering, which means that it can take into account things like shine and polish and the gleam of metal and the sheen of wrapping paper, for instance, glistening ribbons, things like that. And so once we get it into there, it will also respect bump maps, which allow things to have more texture than their polygons would normally allow, and cast shadows in places. individual rocks and pebbles and things like that. And so checking them out in the game is really important for me because then I know that I've gotten the materials correct. So here you can see like the candy cane is actually kind of gleaming because the light of the sun is shining on it. But this is broad daylight, it kind of blasts everything out. You can kind of see right here a wonderful new little kind of addition, a kind of a rustic thing, button and burlap kind of thing sewn together with like some little rosemary fronds there with it. And then, so, I can kind of created some new decorations this year just to kind of mix things up a little bit. A little bow ribbon that was added, and I think there's like a piece over here that has like dried leaves and rosemary. Again, trying to get a rustic touch to it as if they've been handmade. I mean, a lot of that's blown out of the water by the fact that wrapping paper like this would have never existed in the Middle Ages, but certainly maybe toward the Victorian era, they started getting the idea for it down. And of course, modernizing some of the stuff is nice because people want to see pretty gifts around the fire and around the base of the tree. So here they are, actually in situ in an environment that you would normally see them in if you're decorating with them in your home. So now you're getting the light play. You're seeing the gleaming, the kind of the waxy look of the holly leaves, the shine on the ribbon and the bells that now look wonderfully metallic, and the lesser shine that you see on the wrapping paper itself. Right there by the roaring fire, the 3 new gift boxes for this year. Now, in addition, I was able to put something else in too. People love crafting things, and it's always a bummer to me that we only end up with like usually one kind of item that gets crafted. But here for 2017, I made another craftable box. You can see the one over from 2016. This one is a deeper purple with lovely little polka dots on there, and a different color scheme entirely, slightly different size. The one from this year is squatter and wider. But now you all will have 2 different kind of gift boxes that you'll be able to craft yourself. And you can see them here in comparison to the spirituality and the chaos and the ethos gift box. And here you see them up closer, even closer, side by side, 2017 Craftable and the 2016 Craftable gift boxes, which you can see in the new Craftable box. I include the little handmade looking ornament on it. So.
Yeah, it looks really beautiful. The detail it's really amazing. And I remember the ones from the 2016 ones.
That's right.
A lot of people were using them to decorate their houses in festive Yuletide flavor, and
that's right.
I'm sure they're going to do it this year for these.
There's some good news, by the way, about containers like these and the stockings you're about to see, and that is that I've had a chance to talk with the programmers about something that's come up several times, and that is the limit on the number of containers you can put on your property, and they may have a way to get around that, and by doing so, it will let you decorate with as many empty containers as you want. Because the cap limit is not necessarily on the container objects themselves, but on what they contain.
Oh, yeah.
And so they literally multiplied the number of containers that we currently allow by the maximum number of objects that can kind of go into those containers. And so now, and they haven't done this yet. They've been talking about it. They just came up with this idea. It's a great idea because it makes it practically painless for everybody. There's no new interface. There's nothing. All it does is it tracks the number. And then once that number is reached, then you can only put empty containers out there, right? So it's really about the amount of stuff you want to store as opposed to the number of containers that store it. So that would let you decorate endlessly. Hasn't been implemented. It may not be implemented until like another milestone or so, but it's being discussed, and that is a possible way to deal with it.
Well, speaking of decorations, we have a couple of prizes that we're about to give away that you can use to decorate your property if you like. We have the beer krugs. Now, there's a choice of one or the other. There's 2 of them. The Porcelain Regalis Brittany beer krug or the Sleighs Drickbald Eastmark beer krug. Winners of one of those, your choice, goes to Valor Bastaggio. Apologies if I got your last name there a little wrong. And Royal Sexy. So Valor Bastaggio and Royal Sexy, you win one of those beer krugs. Please message me, Barrick, in Discord if you're in Discord, or if you're in Twitch, Shroud the avatar, and let me know what your account name is and which one you would like to have for those beer krugs.
So how do I go now to the next folder?
All right. So okay. So we use one folder, and then I think
the next folder is the Yule Stockings folder.
Okay.
We've wrapped all the way around. We only have about between 5 and 6 images in each folder. So not a lot to go through before we jump into the actual scene, but hopefully you all are enjoying at least the narrative behind the process by which I go through to make these and to consider how they're going to work and all that other good stuff. I'm very much an advocate for things that players want. Whenever I have the chance, I try to cram it in, which is what I did during this short milestone to try to get the extra 2 Yule things going. Is that it?
So it'll be this.
Perfect.
Okay, so they see
Yeah.
that.
So, okay, so now the next thing I wanted to show you, you recall the stockings from last year, and these are some images that I circulated showing how they can be used and decorated with. And you can see them here. Somehow they're able to do some crazy things. You know, it's sort of, sometimes I luck into the magic of getting things to work exactly the way I want them to. And I try to err on the side of more freedom than less, meaning that you have the freedom to make them look ugly. I mean, you could literally try to put things in there now and they could literally hang inside the fireplace, inside where the fire is. But I'd rather err on the side of giving you more freedom, and it's a chance you could make something ugly if you really wanted to, than less freedom and not be able to decorate with them in more spaces that sometimes will surprise and amaze you, like the way that they're hanging here on the Great Hearth. And so any of the new stuff that's made to hang off of horizontal surfaces as opposed to vertical surfaces, which are walls, you know, all the wall hangings and stuff that you have are vertically based. These stockings were something new. They were meant to look like they hang over and indeed are attached to the actual horizontal edge of any space, like the edge of a table, the edge of a railing, things like that. As long as there has been and you can see here, all of these things have horizontal surfaces from which things like this can hang. They're technically utilizing the code for things that can be placed on the floor, but as long as it's any horizontal deco surface, it'll work. So you see, I'm hanging them off the top of the different little size tables here, the round tables. As long as you rotate it to where it looks good, then it will end up looking good and should work. The same thing will apply for the new ones. So you can see how with all these old ones, they're all over the place. I have a shelf up on the wall there that has the lovely craftable one. I have several different kinds of fireplaces. You can see how many I was able to throw in there, including on the side, by the way. You can see I hung it on the side. The only place you can't do it is like the medium and large ones here on the front of this, because this piece bows out. You know, it's a collision surface. So if you try to hang something there, it won't let you hang it because the bottom part of the stocking would try to collide with that collision surface.
And possibly catch on fire.
And possibly catch on fire. I actually, you know, told Richard loves to have traps, and I said, well, you know, a trap could be, there's a 1 in 30 chance that, you know, whatever you hang on your mantle is going to burst into flames. But anyway, you can see how it's done here. Any place where the builders of our houses thought to put deco surfaces, you can hang stuff like this, and it's hanging over this little lip, this little edge. So it is possible to find a lot of different places to hang these things from. So they should work in the exact same way, but you have to have patience. You have to turn it until it looks right, and you have to be willing to make mistakes. Sometimes they don't hang where you want them to, which is unfortunate because it means we need more deco surfaces, and that's a whole different process that we can address later on, hopefully. But now you can see the 2017 stocking versions compared to the 2016s, which were all hung in those early images. The new 2017 ones work exactly the same. They're based on the same kind of designs, as you can see, but I've gone with whole different color schemes this time, solid colors versus stripes, the different colors for the cuffs. And of course, there's no longer bells hanging from the little dags, which were sharper and more jester-like before. Now you have a wonderful wavy dag configuration, and it has those little puff balls that are called pom-poms that people have seen dangling from fringe and things like that in fabric stores and departments. Those are actually old. They were used, things like this were made as buttons long ago even, and pushed through holes in fabric. But these pom-poms are hanging decoratively from the 3 ornate versions. You can see I've colored and placed, you know, the stuff inside in different ways this year. And then you have yet another craftable version, just like we did for the 2016. And again, much more simplistic, but this time a wonderful kind of icy cold blue color. So hopefully you all will enjoy that. And you can see them here up close. I've made some changes now compared to, of course, the ones from last year. You can see that have the gingerbread man, the tree, and the star. This year we have the sun, the moon, and the snowflake itself, which is really great. I mean, I like using symbols from all kinds of different sort of spiritual paths, just because it's fun to play with them. And of course, you know, Yule is a very old holiday, and it corresponds with the winter solstice, which of course is the rebirth of the sun, because the sun went to the shortest day in the year, and on that day, at that point at night, then the sun, as it rises again, will begin is reborn to rise longer and longer and be up every day, you know, for a while as it reaches its equinox. So therefore, the sun was a big deal. All those candles you saw in the old Christmas trees were representing the light of the sun and the belief that, of course, you're celebrating the fact that it's getting longer and that the season of winter, the season of death, is over, and you can look forward to spring soon. So the sun, the moon, and of course the ubiquitous snowflake, got to have that in there somewhere. And so that's what we see now. And here they are in the actual world in situ, in front of a roaring fire that you can kind of see them all here displayed in all their glory. And the cool thing about this, and you'll also see, you can see up there the candelabra too. I actually didn't include it.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I didn't include it in the pictures, but you'll see it when we go live into the game real quickly. Here's another little look. The bells inside are now silver, different colors on the lollipops and the candy canes and the sugar pops and the little gift boxes and everything. So now you have that. Let's skip to the next folder.
All right, and I think we just close this one.
Close that.
And then go to, which one would you like to go to next?
The next one, let's do the garlands. So now we get into the new things this year. The garlands themselves were a pleasure to do. And for the longest time, I thought we actually had them, but it turned out we didn't. And many players came on the forums when I started doing stuff for Yule saying, hey, can you do the garlands this year? Can you do the garlands? So for a couple of years in a row, people have been asking about them. And so finally I said, of course, we have to have them. I think they're wonderful. Now, there are two different kinds of garlands that can be put into two different places. So the ones on top you see are the ones you can craft, the craftable garlands, and then and they're in two sizes. And the ones you see now are meant to work on the vertical surfaces of your walls. So just like hanging a picture, just like hanging the existing wreaths, they go on the vertical walls of your house. And there are two sizes, a 2 meter and a 4 meter sized that you can see there compared to one another. The craftable versions at the top, and then the ornate versions with all their wonderful decorations and gewgaws at the bottom, including the ribbon that you can see wrapped around the wonderful swaths of them. And here they are in the world itself. In my lovely little test scene, I threw them up on the wall, and you can see how they're meant to interact together. I tried to make them to where you can kind of push them together a bit, so at least the wonderful pine boughs will kind of crush together. But that the ribbons won't actually intersect each other very much. So it will end up looking kind of nice, so that you can kind of tuck them nicely together, whether there's the strands, the hanging strands or not. The actual half wreath kind of Laura, what do they call these pieces? I forget what they're called.
Yeah, I forget offhand too, but you're right.
Oh, swags. They're swags.
Oh, swag.
That's what they're called. It's a swag.
A little bit different than the swag I consider when I go to events.
Yeah, it's not the stuff we all get.
Or something, yeah.
Now here are this is the large one. So this is the 4 meter one hung above a door with the large strands hanging with the ribbons above them too. And again, these are the ornate kind. Now these are the craftable kind, and so here you can see, and they're I've taken the smaller versions, and I can cross this entire room with 3 of them and have the strands hanging in the middle, and you see how nicely they work with the wreath of last year. So you get the different colored bows, yeah. Whereas the one from here is working with the wreath that we did for this year, which is, of course, they were made to match. And then now you get the next thing that I was able to do, and at the last minute it was requested by Dallas, who really wanted to see them being able to be hung on mantles as well. 1/3 of the size of the smallest ones that can fit on the wall are the mantle, or I should say in this case, he's calling them the shelf versions of the same wonderful garlands. And these work just like the stockings. And you can see that you have a visual cue of that because you see the little thing that looks like it's nailed in that is used to hang them off of the horizontal edges of things like tables.
Yeah, and you can see the hooks for each edge, so you know how many pieces you have, where they're positioned,
whether they're turned the right way or not.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because the ones, what I quickly realized is the ones that were craftable didn't have anything like ribbons on it. It just had these, so there was no way to know whether you had turned it the right direction before trying to hang it. Yeah. And that's important because it actually has a little face in there that is specifically meant to interact with the horizontal surface. And if it's turned 180 degrees, you could try to place it all day and it would fail. So this is what lets you know that you have it turned the right direction, and you can actually push them up against almost all the way up against each other, and the fronds can kind of intermingle and look like one whole garland. Or you can separate them and put stuff in between if you have. So here you could choose to leave out one of them and then hang a stocking or two in their place instead.
Oh yeah, that actually is something that I think we'll see as we have the community always comes up with these mixes and matches and all these really neat ways that they decorate their homes.
That's
with
right.
All this stuff that we provide, and so I'm sure we'll see some of that. And all of this, guys, is coming next release, right?
All of these. That's right.
Release 48 next Thursday, so less than a week from now, or about a week from now, I guess technically. And you're going to be able to get in and check some of them out if you want to. I think see some of these things. Well, they won't be able to actually access it until then anyway.
That's right.
But I was going to say QA, but that doesn't apply for these things.
That's right.
So,
and we just had lockdown. Like last night was our
yeah.
lockdown, and so I stayed here until nearly midnight and got these things in by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Yeah,
so
you got it. So they're gonna, you guys let us know if you have any questions for Scottie right now on anything that he is showing you, and we look forward to seeing. I'm sure you're, Scottie, especially looking forward to seeing all of the screenshots that the community comes up with when they get these things and start decorating their homes. Also, by the way, I should mention this. All of the items that, all of the pieces, I should say, we are going to be providing you guys with. For the craftables is craftable. You can create as many of those as you want. For the ornate versions, those will be in packs that we'll be providing to you, and there'll be packs that'll have, in case you were wondering, more than like 2 of the pieces. There'll be up to a dozen of those pieces, I believe, is what we're looking at.
Potentially so. I know that the number is still under debate because I push for a little bit more because you want to be able to say, hey, a pack will nicely decorate the walls of a room and the mantle and a few other things. And so, there are several sizes, so having like 4 of each kind and size maybe a nice healthy amount, so maybe 12 to maybe 16 of pieces in a set.
I think we're going to do a mega pack too, which will have every single size and everything that you would want for those garlands. And we're going to do this for some of the other things that Scottie's going to show, like these cards as well, which I believe we're going to be doing a 5-pack.
That's right.
For the cards. But just wanted to call that out, that we're going to give you the as many options in these packs to make it as easy to decorate small and large houses.
Well, and then of course too, once you have the ability to craft them, you may not have enough to do everything in ornate, but you can mix and match them nicely with the ones you can craft. They're the same size, work in the same way.
Absolutely, yeah.
So mixing and matching will let the ones that you buy go a much longer way and still fill the room with all kinds of beautiful greenery and the red bows and things like that.
Yeah, great point.
So here we have the card, and the cards will work, I'm assuming, just like the Valentine's Day cards from a standpoint. I got them working just fine on mine. And they'll come in a pack, like you were saying. Whether they're the same as the Valentine's packs or not, I don't know, but I'm assuming they'll be. And here you see what it is. What I tried to do with these, and you see them compared to the 2 Valentine's cards that I did last year and the year before, or I should say this year and the year before. With the Yuletide card, I tried to make it as neutral as possible. I mean, we have a world with a variety of cultures and spiritual experiences. And one thing that we can say is similar to all of these is that they happen around a certain time of the year. As a result, thematically, bringing in elements of just the basic time of the year, which includes things that grow around that time, holly and mistletoe, other winter themes, allow me to create sort of a generic card that we can then use for a variety of number of things. And of course, you can label it as you wish. So here they are compared to them size-wise, very similar. And this is in broad daylight. But now we have it here. I have it laid down on a table being lit from behind my viewer here from by a fire. And you can kind of see how it looks. It changes color a little bit depending upon the nature of the light. And then you can look it up very closely and see the rich detail. I combed through resources that I could find on borders and old vintage cards and a variety of other things, hand-painted paintings, illustrations from like the turn of the century. This one, in fact, depicting some medieval revelers with garlands hanging behind them during this time of the year of the winter solstice.
A little bit of mistletoe, right?
Yeah, there's mistletoe on the left and right. You can see with the little white berries, and then there's holly with the red berries, and there's red bells and then a red bow hanging. That strange little diamond you see there is actually incorporated into it so that when you see it in its interface in the game, that's where the X goes that you can close out the window when you're done. So here's me composing a Happy Yule thing. So it has its little thing, just like the Valentine's card, where I can say Happy Yule, Joyeux Noël, Happy Solstice, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, anything that you want to give and how you want to label it, and then you can begin creating your own wishes here. So really fun, lovely stuff. Compose a Yuletide poem for your friend and give it to them. And then once you hit publish, it's there for good, and you can open it up and they can look at the card for, ad infinitum anytime they wish from now on. So really, really fun, really cool. And now let us jump in to the editor real quick, and you can actually see all these things sitting around my little test scene. Hope you all are enjoying these things.
Yeah, let us know if you guys have any questions. We got Twitch chat up here. I'm monitoring Discord, so if you see anything, if you're able to read that.
Oh yeah, I can read it now. I'm not as I talk and blah blah blah. I'm not thinking to look up at the responses and such. And of course, it's hard for him to get a word in edgewise with me as I just continuously talk.
Well, that's okay, because I am monitoring chat here for anything that may come up. And speaking of coming up, at the end of this live stream, we're going to give away the final 2 prizes. It's going to be on Twitter for the special super secret prize. Well, it's something you've already seen, so I'm hyping it up maybe a little bit much. But and then we'll give away the ornate leather quivers, 2 of those right here on the live stream at the end. And
Works of Fletcher.
Works of Fletcher, yeah, that's right.
Really?
Fletcher put together those really quickly, and they look beautiful. It's amazing, and anybody can use them. They're wearables, so that's a great thing about them. Or you could decorate your home with them if you like as well. Now that we can place a lot of the wearables as decorations, and then stick around for next week's live stream. That's going to be amazing because it's going to be during release 48. The release is going to be out. All these things we're showing you are going to be available. We're going to be looking at the forums the day before to see if you have any screenshots that we can show off at the live stream of these decorations and other things, and that's really going to be leading into a lot more that's coming up. So just a heads up for that you're going to want to stick around, because we may be talking a little bit more about some of these things during the I have a hard time dueling
that's
stuff
okay.
here.
That's okay.
So
I wasn't sure if I should touch anything.
No, that's fine. So just a point of sticking around for the next release community live stream, because you are going to want to see, I'm going to close this, you're going to want to see all of those things that we talk about next week as well. All right, so
what are you doing? Oh,
I am abusing Unity here because it's a little slow, and I'm going to move this up here so you won't see us, but that's okay. And then, so you can get a full perspective of Unity in all of its glory.
Excellent.
And then
as I run around,
as you run around here, yeah. And then
now you just have to make it to where
Yep.
it is actually looking at Unity.
I promise this will be smooth last time. I promised Scottie that I just so all you watching, I promised Scottie here that this would be perfect. And well, I hope you guys are having a good time.
New tools cropped up at the last moment, so we're relearning everything.
Yeah.
Forgive us.
All right, so I think I need to add a new window for this. Yes. Here we go. Okay, so and my eyes. Do you see the Unity in here?
Oh, excellent.
Sarah. Oh, Sarah, you left. I didn't notice.
I did.
Oh my God.
Oh, I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, she was just silent.
Okay, so we've got
Like a
Unity
church
up here.
mouse.
I'm going to move it down temporarily so that we can see Sarah here. There we go.
She's hideous.
Okay, so I am going to now hit play and go into an area that most of you all have probably never seen unless you visited us here. This is my little outdoor test map where I pretty much throw almost every single object that I make or touch or go back in and modify or fix. And I'm going to play around inside of this area. You're going to get to see it from a player's view standpoint perspective.
Your super secret testing area.
My super secret testing area. Oh, look at it.
Can
Made
you
me appear
summon
right
players
in
here?
Oh, I don't think so. It's a test
No,
map.
no.
I don't think it's even set up for that.
If we did, they would never be able to escape.
That's right.
And
Well, they could float on Novia.
yeah, that's true.
Ooh, it's Yuli.
So it's Yuli. Now, of course, because originally I was just taking like screenshots of it, I actually put a tree in here that's moving around like there's some crazy wind. So ignore and forget all that.
It might be a bug.
But here or it's just an outside version, because I know we have outside and inside Christmas tree versions, Yule trees. So what you're seeing now is my little test zone. I'm going to walk outside and you can look at all the crazy stuff in a moment as we finish. But what you're seeing here is me having a chance to actually lay everything that you've seen out. You can see, you recognize this from the screenshots that I took, right? And the cool thing about it is that, and here I'll bring up my little thing again and I'll give us some more. Oh no, I won't give us light because this year configuration is not the same design. Never mind. I'm going to make that go.
Well,
go okay. Hit K.
Hit K.
We have a question from Rada Torment.
And
A tech.
sun.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, there you go.
And drag the light.
There you go.
Like right down there.
Or you could just use the fireworks to light your way.
God,
That's
Why
safe.
not? Yeah. We were just talking earlier about hanging the some of the. Oh, I want to just. It might be a little loud for you guys. The
You can
stockings with risk of setting the house on fire.
Just let it this way.
I don't know what I'm doing.
This gear.
Are we looking?
There?
Yeah.
It's sounds okay. It's louder than us than it
Master.
will be for us. So this
Oh,
is
there
like
we go.
Yeah.
3/4. It's fine. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
don't need the.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we have a question
What? What
from
do you say?
Rada Torment.
Yes.
He said it's a tech question for you, Scotty.
Ooh, gosh. Okay.
Did Scotty use overlapped / I almost said microwave mirrored UVs to I don't know what UVs are to get a higher pixel density for these items?
Oh, mirrored UVs to get a higher pixel density. Well, in some cases that's possible, but in most cases it wasn't even plausible. Other than the fact, of course, that we're the UVs that you're seeing on this side are repeated on the other side. So if you were to look at these items, you would see mirroring. But then I try to move things around and adjust geometry so that the mirroring is not evident. But you can see right there where the UVs of the front side and the back side mirror right there in the middle. But I do try to jerk stuff around to where any mirroring is sometimes lost. But yes, for instance, the sides of the boxes, every side that's on the side is a repeat of the same area on the texture map. And I cram texture maps full of everything that I can to make them as usable as possible. Now, so here you're seeing the last thing that I was able to make, which is the 2017 Menorah, the candelabra for this season. So that's all brand new with all its wonderful goodness.
And it's the 8th day of Hanukkah.
Is it the 8th day of Hanukkah right now?
Well, no.
Oh,
no.
you mean here?
Here
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
In our little test scene.
Because they're all lit and they will be all
Yeah.
lit all the time, unfortunately. Even those 9 candles burning, I don't know enough about Hanukkah
the middle
traditions.
candle is actually supposed to be detachable,
Oh.
and you use it to light the other ones. It's called the Shabbos.
Sounds like a fire hazard to me.
It is. I don't know why my parents let us kids light it.
Really?
I was
Wow.
like, ugh, I put my hair in it. It smells funny.
So yeah, so now you can see up close all the different things. Here's the wonderful look of the
looks
of
great.
the new Yule boxes. I know, with the shining light of all the different light sources, you're actually seeing them reflected
Yeah.
in the crazy metal bells.
Oh, I
used to
didn't notice
decorate
the
these things.
candy cane on the big one.
Yes, the candy cane, and then this year there's a whole new decoration that's is with this little button, and it's kind of shellacked burlap and cloth.
That's nice that you add that because, like, when I go home for Christmas, I never accept a gift that doesn't have candy on top.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have candy on top? And you can see it here too.
Or
This
money.
is the craftable
Yeah.
version, or money. We always want the money. So here you see the big versions, like I showed you before, and then these in use right here. And of course, down on the little bearskin rug is the wonderful little Yuletide card.
Is there something written on it?
I don't think so. I don't think I wrote anything on this. Does it come up? No.
I hit F9.
Yeah. Let's see. Nope.
No.
Didn't write anything on that one.
Aw.
This one was not. This is not a lot, and it was not placed like the lot gets placed. So
Oh, okay.
this was me building
Okay,
my
that's
own
fine,
little
yeah.
scene.
Well, we have another question from Ekondis.
Yes.
Are the candles individual? Like, can you take them out like you described?
No,
No.
you can't. So, can you interact with the candle?
Yes, I believe I
Can
can.
you turn them on or off, so to speak?
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
so
they
they
do
go
that.
on.
Look at that. Ooh.
So you can just.
And then eventually they supposedly come. There we go.
Yeah.
Poot! It's like magic.
It's magic.
It's magic.
we didn't let you actually do individuals because it once again be a fire hazard.
Yeah,
So-
and I think it would kind of eat up your lighting limit. If
Oh,
you
it
had
totally
8
would.
candles in one.
It totally would. But here, we go outside and the wonderful homey illusion is destroyed. Of course, part of the illusion was destroyed because I have like 6 fireplaces in
Yeah,
this
that's
place.
right.
But
It's a very warm
Very
it's
house.
super warm. It gets really cold. But yeah, you can see this whole map is just chock full of all the things that I have worked on or touched or tested or any of that stuff. You see walls and objects and things just standing out here in the middle of nowhere, new dungeon doors.
This
I
is
was
like a
testing.
purgatory of Charlotte.
It really
It's
is
like,
a purgatory
it's
of
like a
items.
Salvador Dali painting with like the shards and then like random fountains.
I just need melting clocks around here somewhere. Yeah, I was testing stuff in here at one point.
Is there a ghost in there?
I don't think so. There better not be.
To the right? Oh my god.
No.
There's a ghost.
See, you can see the outside of this chamber from a view you'd never ever see it from, which gets used again and again in our game. The little dioceses, all of the wonderful shrines, every little one of the moon dials that I've made. And then, of course, you're also seeing things like, the cool, weird secret parts of the game that have not been revealed yet. Oh gosh, you could look at that very long. Spoilers. And then
another
you get
Menorah.
to see, another Menorah. Yeah, Menorah from last year. And then you get to see like the birthday cakes and here's all the beer coups.
They're upside down.
Yeah, you can see the ones that go in the character's hand, so they have a different kind of control point. And then you see the ones that get decorated on.
So we're giving away the Drockfald Eastmark beer krug. So which one is that?
The Drockfald East March beer krug is this one right there.
Am I saying March? Oh, yeah, I should say March.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
And then the Regalis Brittany beer krug.
That's this one right here.
Ah.
Yeah, that's that one right
So
there.
the one on the right is the
That's
craftable
the craftable
one, right?
Yeah, that's
and then the one on the
earthenware.
far left was from the telethon.
That's right, the silver one of the virtues.
The Virtue Krug.
The Virtue Krug with truth, love, and courage. And then, of course, there's me comparing it to an earlier horn that I made, just to make sure that the level of quality was still the same and such.
And it was.
And it was. And you can see all the gifts laid out and all the other things. And way over here, you see the little test bed where I was making sure to arrange all of the new things that I built so they would function properly. So I made them
like mustaches.
They're like weird mustaches. I know they're gonna put like two wreaths and then one of these to make a smiley
don't give them
face.
ideas.
So yeah, so this is where I test all my stuff out, and this is where I made sure that all the new stuff that I'm preparing for you guys is working for the upcoming release. So hopefully you all enjoyed the tour through my weird map of strangeness.
We'll be back at some point, I am sure, to see more strangeness and more awesome things.
The land of
possibly
strange.
flaming things as well.
Possibly flaming things. Are there any other questions that you all have before I skedaddle?
Well, I've been monitoring chat, see what anybody else comes up with. If you guys have questions for Scottie, anything that you're seeing on the live stream here, we'll have other opportunities to get Scottie on to answer questions, but you can also post them in the forums too.
Absolutely.
Somebody just started up a post about this live stream, which now that I think of it, neglected to actually post an announcement in the forums. Apologies to anybody who exclusively only looks for news in the forums and nowhere else for some reason.
Yeah. Remember, we have weekly updates that give you guys news.
And Twitter's your friend, and other social and everywhere else. And you can even message me, Barrick, in the forums or elsewhere, and say, hey, when is that next live stream? When is that next telethon? Happy to update you guys. Sometimes the days change, so it's important that we get that information out.
Yes.
But you can also create a thread in the forums, like the general discussion area, and mention this live stream, and then ask your questions.
Yes, especially because we have holidays coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, so we won't be in the office on a Friday.
Yeah, well, if you're like me, I'm always online, so if you have my phone number, which I don't know if anybody actually does, but
oh God,
no, I'm kidding.
All right, well, thank you everybody for joining us, and again, stick around, not literally right now, but next week, Thursday, for Release 48, and then the day after that, our next live stream to talk about all the stuff like you're seeing today that's going into that release.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll talk to you later on.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And cut.